Hello friends, this is Fatima here, and I'm going to show you to demonstrate you how you can turn this fabric here, the stockinette made on the Addi machine, into a glamorous fabric with using beads. Okay, by creating a fabric like that, you could use on a sweater or on a dress, on a child's dress, a purse, anything you like. The sky is really, the limit with this. So I'm started here, a flat panel, okay? So I can, I needed a couple of rows here just to show you. For that, for this work, you're going to need a crochet hook big enough for you to pass the needle through the bead, and this depends on the size of the bead you have and the size of the hole you have on the bead. Of course, smaller beads, smaller holes, and you needed a smaller crochet hook. The crochet hooks, they go, I believe, is 1 millimeter, and this one is it's 1.5 millimeter. Okay, it's quite big. I mean, not very small, but not not too small. Too small is hard to pick up the yarn too. But again, it's going to depend on what type of yarn you use and what bead you're going to use. Okay, so let's start. Like I said, there is I started already a flat panel. I knitted 2 needles here, 2 stitches, so I'll give it room. You have to give a little room here in case you needed to attach this to another panel. Okay, so we're going to start here then. So as soon as I get my 3rd needle, 1, 2, 3 needles, I'm going to pick it up the bead. I'm going to introduce into my needle. See, it's right there, and then I'm going to pick it up the yarn, and I'm going to pull the yarn through the bead. Okay, so you form a loop, and then you get that loop and you thread your needle. You put through the needle just on top of it. Give it a little tug so it's not so loose here. Okay, and then you crank back the machine. You crank the machine. Crank forward the machine. So you have to leave a space. So I'm doing with the 3 space. So 1, 2, 3. So you stop on your 4th. Again, you pick it up your little bead. You put inside the hook, so the hook goes inside the little bead, and then you pick it up the yarn. You don't need to remove the yarn. You just pull the yarn like that with your fingers, and then you push through, you pull through the needle. Okay, and that loop that you created, you're going to put around the needle. Give a little tug. Give a little tug. Okay, it's right there. Up, little tug, and then crank the machine. Now you can give even an extra tug if you want. Okay, and there it stays. So again, 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one, you get your bead. Oh, I'm getting a different bead here, no problem. So and you pull that yarn through, so you're forming a loop. You see the loop? You're forming the loop, and then you put that loop in your needle. Okay, make sure you pull a little bit so it's not so loose. It takes a little bit practice, but once you start going, it's pretty easy. okay? Practice first in a piece for you. And then you just need, as usual, so 1, 2, and 3, my fourth one. And now I'm going to pick up another bead, and the bead goes into your needle, okay? Then you pick up the yarn, and the yarn goes around your needle, and then you pull the loop. That loop goes around the needle there, okay? Give it a little tug, and then crank the machine, okay? Again, so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. This one I'm going to put the bead. So I'm going to do it again. Hope you can see it. So you put the bead inside on your needle, okay? Put your bead in your needle, pick it up the loop, or pick it up the yarn, okay? Form a little loop around the needle, okay? And then you just pull through. And that's what you have. You have a little loop. See? You have a little loop. There is the bead, there is the loop. That loop goes around this needle. And then you put it there. Hold on to your bead a little bit. Okay? And just thread the machine as usual. So over here, of course, I would leave two needles here always, so would be 2 stitches, would have more room for you to attach to something else if you need. So now when it comes to this, you're just gonna crank it back, but where you have your loop, help the machine a bit so the machine doesn't get stuck, okay? Especially if you go too tight like I am. I rather go a little bit tight. I don't mind, to help the machine, so I don't have a lot of yarn hanging around, you know. It gives a nicer look. Okay, so now I'm going to do a space of 5. Okay, so 1, 2, actually 3, sorry, 4, and 5. Okay, so again, I have my bead here, so I would go to the needle in between. So that's 3, 4, and I'm going to do on a 5th one. Okay, so again, because I wanted to, you know, put it in between. So again, I pull the yarn a little bit. So get my bead, introduce to my needle, and then you pull the little loop through and return that loop onto your needle. Okay, help a little bit, pull a little bit so it's not so loose, the yarn, and just keep cranking. Okay, so again, you have to leave your 3 space, 1, 2, 3, and this is the one that we want, the 3rd one. So again, I'm gonna put my bead, okay, on my needle, and I'm gonna pull. Okay, I created a loop. That loop, I'm going to put it in the needle, in the 3rd needle. Okay, pull it a little bit so it's not so loose, and continue kneading. So again, you need the 3 space, and this is my 4th one, and I'm going to do it once more so we make sure we all understand. Sometimes the beads have the paint inside, so you kind of have to juggle a little bit. So pull your yarn, okay, get the yarn around the needle, okay, and pull the loop, there is your loop that you create, and you put around your needle, or you thread the needle, and then you crank as it goes. So let me tell you the last one. So again, needle, bead goes on the needle, pull the loop, pull the yarn, thread the bead, okay? Thread the bead, pulling the loop. Okay, you form the loop, go there. Now, one thing I want to show you, I did not move the yarn anywhere. The yarn stays put. The yarn stays inside the yarn feeder. And that's what you're going to knit to, okay? I tried to do it without this one, but it makes a hole. So you do need to feed the machine as usual. So you do not take it from the yarn feeder, okay? So again, the loop goes in there, give it a little tug, and then you knit as usual. So I'm going back, make sure you help your machine a bit. For that, I like to use this tool here. It's very handy. And it does get a little tight, depends, again, I said, depends how much you give it a tug, okay? So that was one. This is 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? So when you have, just gonna do here in the middle, when you have the number of beads you want to put it, the space, the garment, as many as you want, what you're gonna do is you just push your little beads through the hole. You see, you're pushing them through the hole so they become on the other side, okay? Just push them through the hole. Sometimes if they are too big like this ones, it takes a little more effort to do it, but you just basically pushing them with your fingers to the other side, okay? So let's review, and this is what we get. We get the beads on this side, and once you just move them a little bit, you can fix them better. And when you steam the fabric, you won't see the holes, you won't see the loop that you created. Is very, very pretty, okay? So I hope you like it, and I will post something that I'm making with this fabric. It's another idea, folks, because people often say, oh, the Addi machine, make boring stitches and too big of a gauge. You can transform this. You can, with a little or not much effort, you can transform and make your own creation. And again, the sky is the limit. It's up to you what you want to create and what you want to make it. Okay, hope you like it. And thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves, okay? Bye-bye.